To do a quick review of color schemes because it's been a really long time since we actually talked about it. So let me go into presentation mode here. All right, so starting with the easiest color scheme, let's talk about monochromatic. This isn't exactly a monochromatic because monochromatic is a single color with tints and shades of that color. And of course, you can have pure white and pure black as well when you're doing a monochromatic. Although a lot of single color paintings do not. This not exactly a monochromatic. It's got some warm tones in here and some purples as well. But this is a Monet piece. So I wanted to show it and not just show student work. And then here is more of a classic monochromatic. So obviously using a yellow hue and then different tints and shades of that yellow. Of course, you can have a pure black and white monochromatic. You could also have like a neutral monochromatic, so like sepias, browns, tans. But I want you guys to think about it in terms of color. So in terms of one of the colors from the color wheel. All right, so two other fairly straightforward color schemes are warm colors and of course cool colors. So with warm, you can have any variation of yellow, red, and orange. Obviously, if you put like green and start to make a yellow green, at some point it's going to switch over and be a cool color. But these 6 colors in their pure form are going to give you warm color schemes. And then we have the cool colors. There is a little bit of yellow in here. Again, not perfect, but I know you guys are smart enough to figure that out. So we have green, blue, and purple as our cool colors. So this is where things start to throw people. Complementary color schemes. I think you guys should be fine with this as well. So complementary color schemes use 2 colors, and it is going to be a primary and then its complementary secondary color. So here we have the 3 primaries, and then inside them are their secondary complements. So if you use all 6 colors, it's no longer a complementary color scheme. It's, a rainbow color scheme. Even if you use 4 colors, you're really not using a complementary color scheme anymore. So complementary color schemes have 2 colors and then tints and tones of those colors and shades of those colors and black and white. So you're not going to introduce any of the other pure colors in there. And when you use a complementary color scheme, because using complements side by side always makes them look their brightest, it's going to be almost visually overwhelming color scheme. And I'm looking at this right now and my eyes are like spazzing out just because they are so intense, especially when you're looking at them on the computer screen and not on that terrible projector I have in the classroom. So we have green and red. We have yellow and purple. So remember Christmas, Mardi Gras, or JMU if you prefer, and then Virginia Tech. I just do Christmas, Mardi Gras, and then whatever is left over. But whatever memory device works for you, feel free to use. Okay, and so here is the color wheel showing the complements. So complements are always across from each other on the color wheel. So if you are ever struggling to remember, having a color wheel up somewhere as a reference can really help you. So definitely like print one out or make one for yourself if you're really struggling with color schemes and put it up somewhere in whatever space that you're working in at home. So Analogous is a simple color scheme to understand, but people will often get confused on like a quiz trying to identify between analogous and warm and cool color schemes because analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. So Typical analogous color schemes have 3 colors, but you can certainly have more than that. I mean, you could use half the color wheel if you wanted to. So it can become tricky with warm and cool because you can actually have warm analogous, cool analogous, and then mixed analogous. So if I used yellow, yellow, orange, and orange, that would be both an analogous color scheme and a warm color scheme. Same thing if I used blue, purple, and pink. I would have both color schemes. So I would have both analogous and a cool color scheme. Whereas here, we've got yellow, clearly warm, this yellow orange, good lord, yellow green, and then a pure green, which is clearly cool. So we kind of have this intermediate color in between. So we're mixing the warm and the cool to form the analogous color scheme here. So this is both analogous and warm. So it's 2 different color schemes at once. And if I were to give you a question on a quiz about that, I would try to use an analogous color scheme. I would use an analogous color scheme that was clearly mixed, so clearly warm and cool, unless I was asking you to identify like the 2 color schemes that this is. Then I would use an analogous warm or an analogous cool. All right, so triadic and split complement are the ones that people have trouble memorizing. So to remember what triadic is, remember that this tri here means 3. So you know that you're going to have 3 colors. And the easiest way to pull 3 colors from the color wheel, is to take colors that are evenly spaced on the color wheel. So triadic forms a triangle when you are choosing your colors. So if that mnemonic helps you, then definitely use it. So here we have a primary triadic. So we have our 3 primaries. This dotted is a secondary triadic. And you can definitely have a tertiary triadic, but for memorization purposes, I think it's easier to look at the primary and the secondary colors to form your triadic color scheme. And then split complement is the one that really throws people. But if you look at the name is directly describing what this color scheme looks like. So it is a complement that has been split. So with a split complement, you're taking your pair of complements. So here we have yellow and purple, and you're just splitting one of those. You're taking the colors on either side. So here we're using yellow, and then the colors on either side of its complement, purple, which are this purple blue and this magenta or purple and red. You can do it the opposite way. You can, again, same complement, yellow and purple, but you can take purple as one of your colors and then the colors on either side of yellow and have a split complement. So you can get 2 split complements out of every complementary pair. And that is it. That is color schemes in a nutshell. So remember that for DE, we're taking that quiz on Thursday. For AP, we're going to talk about that today. So make sure that you look through this review before you take the quiz online. All right, that's it, guys.